Welcome back to month 3. In this lesson, we move from preventing attacks to detecting and responding to them on the endpoint. By the end, you'll understand why EDR beats traditional antivirus, you'll know the NIST incident response lifecycle cold, and you'll be able to triage, contain, investigate, and recover an endpoint incident with discipline. Let's start with the core distinction. Traditional antivirus answers one question: does this file match a known bad signature? That's fine for commodity malware, but it's blind to fileless attacks and brand new payloads that have no signature yet. EDR, endpoint detection and response, changes the question entirely. It continuously records behavior, process creation, command lines, network connections, registry changes, and detects suspicious activity, not just bad hashes. The device becomes a sensor, and your job is to triage what it reports. When an incident hits, discipline beats heroics. NIST Special Publication 861 gives us a repeatable lifecycle. First, preparation, tooling, runbooks, contacts. Then detection and analysis, confirm it's real and scope it. Then containment to stop the spread, eradication to remove the threat, and recovery to restore normal operations. Finally, post-incident activity, where lessons learned flow straight back into preparation. Memorize this order, it keeps you calm and consistent under pressure. The detection and analysis phase is where you separate noise from a real incident. In Defender for Endpoint, related alerts are correlated automatically into a single incident with an attack story. Start there, not at individual alerts. Read the story, confirm the activity is genuinely malicious rather than a false positive, and scope the blast radius, which users, which devices, which data. You cannot contain what you haven't found, so scoping comes before action. Central to triage are indicators of compromise, or IOCs, the fingerprints of an attack. These are file hashes, IP addresses, domains, registry keys. When you find one, you pivot on it, hunt across the whole estate to find every device that has touched the same indicator. A short KQL query in advanced hunting confirms the scope in seconds. Once you've confirmed an IOC is bad, you can block it as a custom indicator so it's stopped everywhere automatically. Now we contain. Defender gives you 2 isolation modes. Full isolation cuts almost all of the device's connectivity, leaving only the Defender for Endpoint channel open so you keep control and can keep investigating. Selective isolation is lighter, it blocks a limited set of apps from the network while keeping more of the device usable, and it preserves the Defender connection. Choose full when you need to stop the bleeding completely, selective when you need the user partly working or want a lighter touch. Before you change a single thing on that device, collect the investigation package. This is a bundle of forensic artifacts that captures the device's current state, autoruns, running processes, network connections, scheduled tasks, prefetch data, and security event logs. Collecting it early preserves the evidence and gives your analysts everything they need to examine the device without working live on it. Think of it as photographing the crime scene before anyone walks through it. When you need to get hands-on, you open a live response session, a remote command shell straight into the isolated device. Because the Defender channel stays open even under isolation, you can investigate and remediate surgically without ever breaking containment. You can pull a file to your evidence store with getFile, list running processes, inspect active connections, and remediate a malicious file. It's precise, controlled access to a machine you've already locked down. 2 final pieces. Automated investigation and response, or AIR, can do much of this triage for you. When an alert fires, AIR walks the alert tree, decides verdicts, and applies approved remediation automatically, shrinking response time from hours to minutes. And throughout everything, preserve chain of custody, document who collected each artifact, when, and where it's stored. An unbroken chain keeps your evidence trustworthy and admissible if the incident ever ends up in court or an insurance claim. Let's recap. EDR records behavior and catches what signature antivirus misses. When an incident hits, follow the NIST lifecycle: preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. Contain with full or selective isolation, collect the investigation package first, use live response for surgical action, and preserve chain of custody throughout. Your task: in a test tenant, simulate a benign detection and walk it through the full lifecycle, triage the incident and note the IOCS, run a hunting query to scope it, collect the investigation package, place the device in selective isolation, open a live response session to pull one artifact, then write a one-page runbook entry documenting your containment decision, the chain of custody, and your recovery and communication steps. See you in the next lesson.